And now, the Becky and Bubba Weekly Podcast.
That's where you have to stop it and go, wait a minute, what are we going to do without Patrick harmonizing with himself this week?
Oh, God. Thank you, Lord.
Becky and Bubba, they have a show 5 days a week, but they don't get to say everything that's on their mind, so they have an extra one, and that's how we get the podcast. The podcast.
And it's never right.
The
It's like-
podcast. Becky and Bubba, the podcast. Becky and Bubba podcast.
He made this beautiful song for y'all, and you're not
He
even.
did, and we did. We had to. Thank you to O'Reilly Auto Parts for sponsoring the podcast. We love you guys at O'Reilly's. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day. O'Reilly's. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Ow.
Ow.
Bro, your Tesla sees dead people.
Are you doing that? You doing this
That is
tomorrow
happening.
night?
That is
it's
happening
not.
either. Oh, no, it's
No,
probably
you're
going to go on
not.
tomorrow night. It was going to be tonight, but I have to go see that James Bond movie with my fam.
I want to go, man.
You too.
It
Yeah.
looks good.
I'm pretty stoked about
Oh no,
that.
I wanted to go right around and look for ghosts.
You want to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Wait,
Carson
I
can
gotta
go.
Did you say ride around and look for ghosts?
Okay, so
Yeah.
for those of you who
Okay.
don't know, Tesla automobiles have like the screen on the thing, and whenever you're in, automatic drive, where it's autopilot thing and it's driving you around, the car will show you, hey, here comes a red light, you're coming up to a red light, or here comes a car, here comes whatever, and it shows you what's on the road around you as the machines see it. So all the sensors pick up things like cars and traffic and the lines on the road and all that, and the road itself. It also picks up dead people. Because what they have found out is people using their Teslas driving through like a cemetery will be on those little roads in the cemetery, and all of a sudden they'll see like a body, a person walk across the screen.
I am so into this.
It's not. It's not in real life. It's not in real life. You don't see it. There's nothing there, but you'll see this person and it'll vanish.
Love it.
So
I'm very
Right?
interested.
we're wondering if maybe the Tesla's electronics are picking up the electronic signatures of the apparition.
You guys got to pick a real good cemetery to go to.
Well, I'm trying, but
So I know the exact same one. I know the one you should go to.
really?
That one in right as you're going into Franklin off of
I know what you're talking about.
Hillsborough.
It's like a half
it's in that,
military.
it's in that it's like that park. It's like a Franklin
think
Park.
there's a lot. Okay, so
And
I
it's
went.
old school.
Well, I went looking for cemeteries to go
love
and
this kind of
do
stuff.
this in, but a lot of the ones that I wanted to, like there's some really, there's a big one right down the road, but it locks at
Yes.
dark.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
about to
yeah.
ask if you'd check
So
gates.
you can't get the car in there. And
What's the plantation? Not plantation.
Carnton?
Carnton Plantation.
where they still get the blood
Yes.
in the
Oh, yeah.
floorboards and
So
all
they
that kind
have
of stuff.
the body parts that were stacked up.
What?
My buddy just sold his house, and I'm really bummed because he has a Tesla, and he lives in a house that was both the headquarters for Schofield and for Nathan Bedford Forrest at different times throughout the Civil War. I'm like, dude, I want to go and
I want to see some ghosts.
Yeah. And he said he's like, I never noticed anything. I'm like, whatever. Because it was
Don't
also a
ruin it
field
for me.
It was a field hospital. It was all kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, there's a lot of stuff over there.
Bro, your Tesla sees dead people.
I wanted to introduce our guest. Amber is with us.
She's been on with us before.
Yeah,
and she's
and,
filling in for Patrick today because Amber's got some big life changes going on.
No, it's your last day.
It's my last day. It's the end of an era.
It is.
Wow.
It really is. This is so been here for 7 years now. And
But
then-
we also worked together before in this building. We were together. How many years before that?
3.
So 10 years.
10 years.
Wow.
A decade.
I know. Isn't it? So it's 10
That's
years.
over a third of your life because you're young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Almost a third of mine.
So, what do you've been doing radio forever?
Well, you got to tell about your
Okay.
your trip and all this crazy
All right.
stuff.
So, crazy, wild story. I'd been feeling like maybe radio wasn't exactly the place for me. Like, I was starting to question some things, and I was like, there's a lot of people that seem to like me and want things from me, but these aren't really my friends, and I don't really want to be around all these people all the time. I was feeling like I didn't fit in, and I was starting to be on camera more in my job, and I personally just don't care for being on camera. I'd even gotten like some trolls. I mean, anybody who is on camera ever will get, I'm sure you guys have gotten trolls saying terrible things.
Never.
No, right?
Never.
And so, I mean, and as somebody who doesn't particularly care to be on camera, that didn't feel good to me. It didn't make me feel good. And so I just started questioning a lot of things. And
You're on camera right now.
I know, right? I know. This is like the last time I'm hoping to ever be on
But
camera.
our people are very lovely.
Well,
They really are, yeah.
they better be because I'm.
But need to walk.
Yeah. So so I had experienced some just also like a few hateful comments on like YouTube videos and things like that. I didn't really like that either. And so, and I'm the kind of person who also like would take, so I got, because I've been in this job so many years, I have a month of vacation, like a month's, which is a ton of time. And I used to take 1 week. That's it. And then 2020 happened, and I was like, well, I can't go anywhere. Everywhere's closed. And I started thinking about what I really, really wanted to do and how I wanted to travel. And so I decided, I was like, summer of 2021, I'm going to go to Italy. I've wanted to go for a really long time. And I went once when I was really little, and I loved it when I was really little. I'm going to go. And I'd always been like, oh, well, I want somebody to go with me, or I don't want to go by myself. But
I didn't even know you were going until I saw pictures of you there. Yeah. And I'm like, we hosted an exchange daughter from Padua, which is right outside of Venice, which is where I saw a lot of your time was spent.
Yeah, so I started in Sicily, and I worked my way up to the top.
You started at the bottom, and now you're, okay.
At the top. And so, I just decided, I was like, I'm going to take all of my vacation, because I've never taken all of my vacation. I'm going to take all of my vacation at once. I'm going to go to Italy by myself. Just going to do it. And I really didn't, honestly, at the time that I was like, I'm going to do this, there was no vaccine. There was like, Italy was still closed. So I was just like, I'm just going to try to book a flight, and I guess if it's meant to be, it'll
there was,
just be.
there was a lot. I forgot that they had all the I remember like whenever she went home because she had to go home early because of the COVID stuff. So she gets home and she's picked up at the airport by her father. Sophia could not legally ride in the front seat with him.
Yeah.
They had to socially distance. She had to ride in the back seat of the car to go back to the house that they lived together in.
So dumb.
It's like, what is going on?
I mean,
How did you get to do anything?
It weirdly worked out in a very like universal timing kind of way. Like the week before I went, they took off the quarantine restrictions, and they like just loosened a lot of it. And then after I got back, they tightened it back up a bit. And so I just
they just wanted you to show up.
Just me, the whole country there for me. So I just really, really great timing, but I had the most beautiful experience, the most wonderful time. And when I came back, I just looked at my house and I looked at my life, and I was like, this ain't it, man. This isn't like.
It's not Italy.
Yeah. I was like,
it's not Italy.
Yeah. And so I just decided I got to change something. And I just started listing all of my clothes on Facebook and starting to look into.
So you had no plan. You just put everything for sale.
Yeah. And I was like, maybe I can get a visa. I don't know. Like, I guess I'll just like do some Googling, check it out, look into it maybe.
To go back to Italy, or what were you?
Yeah. So I was like, I really loved Italy. I was like, maybe there's some type of visa I could find to get back into Italy. P.S. Visas in Italy are like really hard to get.
And you don't speak Italian, do you?
Well, I've been studying Italian. So
okay.
I speak a little Italian, not super fluently or anything like that. I'm really good at reading it. But
being, immersed upon in it, you would pick up pretty quick.
Yeah. And so, so I started looking into that. But, and I was like, forget it. I'm just going to sell all my stuff. I'm going to sell as much as I can, because if I decided to move tomorrow, if I could move tomorrow, like I wouldn't be able to take all this stuff. I'll just start selling stuff. And then it just.
As one does, right, Carson?
Yeah.
Let me just sell all my stuff.
And so I was on Facebook because I had listed everything on Facebook Marketplace. And it just so happened that a friend had posted a status update. She was like, "Hey, my company's hiring."
Can we say
For-
the country, or do we want to say Portugal or
Well,
something? We'll just make up another country.
Part 2. Well, so it
Because
started
we're
out.
on right now. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Oh yeah, so it started out that I saw this remote job, and it's like it's here in Nashville, but it's remote. I can work from anywhere. And she was like, "My company's hiring, whatever." And so I was like, well, that's obviously I work in radio. This isn't at all in radio. This isn't even in the music industry, but I'll try. And so sent in a resume and ended up getting several interviews. Ended up getting that job, and then ended up talking to another friend who was like, "Hey, I'm doing a remote teach abroad position in Europe. If you would, maybe like to try it." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I filled out the application and stuff, and it ended up working out that. So next year, I'm going to be going to Spain actually to teach abroad. So selling everything I own, selling my
What
house.
are you going to teach her?
What are you going to teach
What's
her?
that?
It's like the
She's
creepy.
going to teach abroad.
I got you, D. I got you. Carson had to break that one down.
What were y'all laughing at the first time?
I was
What
like,
are you
no,
gonna
I was
teach
like, what?
her? But I got to teach her, but I didn't think
Yeah, I
abroad.
was laughing because I totally didn't get it. Mr. Pun didn't get it
know.
because I'm over here trying to do some other stuff. So I
there
only
were many
caught
layers
half
of that. It was
yeah.
really
Okay, so you're going to
Sorry.
teach
There you go.
abroad.
You're going to teach abroad.
yes.
Some dame.
And boys, too.
Yay! Yeah, so I'm selling everything I own, selling my house, quit my career, got a different job. I'm going to teach abroad next year. It'll be next October. So
Teaching what?
English.
Okay.
So the good news is I don't have to know Spanish because I don't know Spanish. Like I really don't know any Spanish at all.
So is this like in a school?
Yeah, so I'll be a teacher's assistant. So basically, I'll go into a classroom where they're teaching English and
not
speak in
just English, but American English, which is very different.
Yeah.
So I noticed something because I've got a lot of friends who are Indian, dot not feather, as they say. And they all, when they speak English, it used to be really hard for me to understand them. Like they'd have a cousin come over, and I'm like, man, you got to slow down. Until I realized one day that they speak British English. And if you start listening
yeah.
to somebody with an Indian accent and then realizing, okay, let me listen to the British person mixed in there, it's so much easier to pick up on everything.
Yeah.
So whatever that little nuance that they've been doing for the English that they've been speaking in Spain, you have to decide or decode, where that came from. So whoever taught them is what you're going to have to be listening for. It's weird. But once you do it, it's so much easier to pick up on everything. I'm awesome in a crowd now. You could put 15 people talking around me. I'm like, I got you.
So this program is actually really cool because they only allow people, like it's like the North American language and cultural program, and so they want Americans whose first and native language is English to come over and talk with the kids. And so I just decided to do it. Obviously, I'm selling everything and kind of starting my whole life over, which is a little bit insane.
They are going to have so much fun with you, though, because you're not going to be the typical English teacher they've ever had. I mean, you're country, and they're going to be like, "Is that real?"
So I've been thinking about the position as me being like the cool aunt. I know it sounds weird. Like I'm not your mom. I'm not your actual teacher. I'm not the authority here. I'm just your cool aunt who comes in, gets you really excited, make sure, you don't die or anything, like has fun. And then I get to leave. So that's pretty fantastic.
So everything's sold now? You've got everything
Everything
liquid?
is in the process of being sold. It is. You don't think about how much stuff you have until you start pulling it out of drawers, and it's like Pandora's box. Like I did have a super clean house with, it was meticulously decorated and everything was put away. And it's like now that I have to go through every single drawer to see what I'm going to keep and what I'm not, because also I don't want to, and I can't keep a ton of like things that hang on the wall or decorations or anything like that. Like I'm getting down to a suitcase. And when you start thinking about
You're selling everything. But what would fit in
a
one
suitcase.
suitcase.
Wow.
Yes. So once you start thinking about like all the stuff that all that other stuff, I guess my brain just never sucks. I was like, oh, totally fine. I'll just be like, all right, this stuff's for sale. And then I'll throw some stuff in a suitcase and walk out. And it'll be that easy. And I'm here to tell you, it's not that easy.
Yeah, but I mean, that complete mindset, that's such a reset because people in general, we're so emotionally attached to crap.
Yeah.
I mean, we just are. We hang on to things because, well, I remember the day that I did that. I'm gonna hang on to that. Who knows? I might want to see that again.
Yeah.
I might want to touch that again. And we never do. I have stuff in storage. My wife and I were talking 2 days ago. I told Stacy, I said, we need to put some other stuff in storage. I went, but before we do that, let's go through storage and throw away the stuff that we haven't seen in 10 years that's in there.
Yeah.
I said, I don't even want to open the boxes. Let's just throw that away.
Because you don't even know what's in there.
Right.
I'm sure.
Right.
And that was kind of where I was at. I mean, I'm very lucky, like, to be able to, in the time that I'll need to go abroad next October, and now I have a remote job that I can do, and I also I have my grandma's to stay at, because I was like, I can't even sell my house.
So you're selling your house and everything.
Yeah, so I was like, I can't sell my house and get an apartment though, because the timing isn't going to work out, because I'd have to get out of a lease earlier, pay for an extra at least month.
What if you kept your house and used it as a rental property?
I looked into that. I looked into like Airbnb-ing it out or just renting it out. And I would have to just rent it out for so much to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're in Nashville prices. Like, it's not a cheap house. So it's just, it would be the profit versus what it would be would just
and
be
somebody
too much.
you'd have to hire like a management company to take care of it
and
and
a
all
cleaning
that.
company to, somebody
they
take
would, I'm
care
sure,
of it.
hopefully.
Yeah. So, but all that stuff would have to be done separately from me, because I literally wouldn't even be in the country. And God forbid something like really bad happened to the house, I wouldn't be
Here.
at all.
So you're selling everything.
Everything.
You're moving to Europe,
That's so cool.
and then you are going to teach English with that crazy accent.
She's teaching English. She's teaching English. Let's get it right.
You're flipping Cracker Barrel girl coming
I
over.
know. It's funny. That's also how my house is decorated. It looks like the inside
Really?
of a Cracker Barrel.
Do you have those bins with the old throwback candies in it?
I'm surprised that I don't, but the rest of it, Jimmy Allen once told me it looked like an old woman decorated my entire house. And I was like, bro.
So what's your family think about all this?
Well, so at first I think that there was hesitation, and they were like, you're going to do what? From where and why?
Well, you and your mom are super close.
Yeah, me and my grandma too.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, they were kind of like, wait, what? But now I think they understand, like, there's not really anything holding me in Nashville anymore. Like, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been in Nashville for 10 years. And I sat down and I really thought about, like, what exactly do I want from my life? And there are things that I've been trying to get for the past 10 years, but I'm not getting. And so at some point it becomes like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Like, I've been doing this for 10 years. We're not getting the results that we want. So
What about
change it.
Charles?
Charles is coming with me.
You're bringing your dog?
I'm bringing my dog.
Well, how do you? I mean, the only
I'm
time.
so offended that you think I wouldn't bring my
the
dog.
only time I ever had to worry about a dog stuff is when I moved to Guam, and there was like quarantines and all these crazy rules and all that because they didn't have rabies there and all. Like, what kind of hoops do you have to jump through to bring a dog to Spain?
So I'm sure that there are a lot.
You haven't even looked into it yet?
So I've looked into it a little bit. There's like some microchip stuff that has to be done, and then there's also like he's also really small. So it makes it, he's not like, a husky or
it's a lap
anything.
dog.
He's a lap dog. He can go on the plane with me. If I had to put him in cargo, I wouldn't be able to do it. I couldn't do it. He would be too stressed out. I would be too stressed out. I don't want to do it.
You'd have to take a boat.
Yeah. Right?
Seriously, take a cruise.
Yeah. Take a cruise to get there. But
Can you do that? Can you take a boat like back in 1875 to go to Europe?
I looked into it when I got in this
Yeah, you don't
wild
like to
hair
fly. I know
about
that.
but I also at the time had 2 big dogs, and I thought if I wanted to move to England, it was when Kate Middleton married Prince Harry, and everybody thought we were going to go marry like old ugly dudes but inherit money, and I was like, I'm going to move over there and I'm going to bring my dogs, and I looked into sailing so that way I didn't have to worry about them being in cargo.
Yeah, I couldn't do the whole cargo thing. It would stress me out too bad. And he's such a little Velcro dog. Like he's always with me, and so he wouldn't be able to do it either. So that, and then also the company that I'm getting my visa through will also help me figure out all those arrangements with him.
So there's
it's
probably
nice.
so you're paying these people to help you figure out everything. That's smart.
Yeah.
Because you need somebody who knows.
Oh yeah, I couldn't navigate it alone. There's so much information out there. When I started looking into Italy and getting a visa there was just it's so much information, and you're kind of just at the mercy of like what your like you have to go to like an embassy and what that particular embassy says versus there might be one in Atlanta, there might be one in New York, and they're all different. Like so it was too much, and I was like, I don't want to have to do that myself. That's not what I want. That's too stressful. It's too much.
What about the food? Have you looked at what the food's going to be like in Spain? Like,
It's not Mexican food.
I haven't.
So
honestly.
many people
I'm just-
think that. They go like, I can't find a Mexican restaurant here at all. What's wrong? And I'm like, it's a different kind of
Yeah.
Spanish.
What is that? Spanish?
Spanish food is like, it's like tapas, kind of like finger foods.
Paella
And
in there?
Listen,
I like the beer.
Okay.
I just kind of I was like, you know what? I'll try this. I don't have to live there forever. I can try it. I'll have a suitcase. I'll have my dog.
So if you go to Spain and you don't like it after a year, you can say, I'm heading off to Sweden.
Yeah, I can say, you know what? And at that point, I'll also have some teaching experience too. So I'll be able to like, you know what? Maybe I want to go and teach or do something in Greece or
you'll
in
be better
Italy.
qualified.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm just taking it as like, I was in Nashville I have been in Nashville for 10 years and in this area for my entire life. And the things I want in life, I mean, obviously radio has been incredible and I've gotten to experience all these incredible, amazing things. But at the end of the day, I want a partner, a teammate. I want my soulmate. I want to find that person that I find a connection with, and I want to have true, authentic friends. And
Is that why you picked Spain? Spanish dudes?
well, no, I just decided I
I'm
was
just
like,
trying
you know
to figure
what?
out if
Wherever
there's like a little ulterior. Hey, look, because
I mean, Spanish guys are pretty hot though.
I know someone who literally they always said they were going to only marry a rich woman, and they only dated rich women. And
Oh,
guess
well,
what? They married a rich woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just I want to go different places and experience different things because clearly what I want is not here, So I'm just gonna try out some new places. I don't have to go to Spain and be there for 20 years. I can go to Spain and if I like it, I can stay and do another year in that program, or I can not. I can try somewhere else.
I would stay away from the Rabo del Toro Spanish bull tail stew.
Okay.
why do you
Good.
say stay away from it? You don't know. It might be delicious.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, because they might cart it in right out of the bullfighting ring down the
I don't
street.
like
Yeah,
that.
don't go to those. That's
No.
gross.
Or Spanish boiled octopus.
That sounds
That's
good,
calamari.
actually. Yeah.
Right?
I'm not big on octopus.
Hey,
because
is it
they're
true
smart,
about
so-
calamari that sometimes if you go to a cheap restaurant, it's actually not calamari?
Oh, I don't know.
What would it be?
I'm not saying.
Oh.
It's like some creature's booty.
Oh.
I have heard that, and I
I
don't know
feel
if
like
it's
that's
true.
probably like a myth. I'm just gonna.
Well, I'm
guess.
happy for Amber that there's at least McDonald's in Spain.
Right,
Right,
man.
so-
There's McDonald's anywhere.
That's the thing. So to be worried about food, she got Mickey D's.
yeah, man.
Okay,
We're fine.
so I did find a article. This is a dubious pork-based origin. Is this rumor about imitation calamari it's an urban legend? Okay, so this seems like it's not a true thing, but calamari was like hog rectum is what they were saying, and I saw that, and I kind of have not eaten calamari since because how would you know?
I watched this document on
But
how.
it's false.
Well, that's good. But I watched this document on how smart octopi are, and how they like can recognize people and
Well, they're
all
smart like
kinds
dogs,
of stuff.
right?
And
Yeah,
I
they
was
have
just
the
like, I
intelligence
can't
of a
do it.
3-year-old.
I can't do it. It's
Wow.
too much.
Yeah.
So now I won't eat it
No.
because I feel bad. I don't.
You know what's the craziest is you watch those mukbang food things. No, you guys have never watched those, where it's like somebody in Japan eating live
Oh, yeah.
octopus.
No, I
and,
don't wanna do
So
that.
Oh,
gross.
it's the craziest thing. And just the sounds.
Oh, it's
People
like
are
they're
awful.
eating
I
it
don't
as
like,
it's alive.
I don't like
Yes.
sounds.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's like it's like, what
Stop.
are you doing?
Stop.
It's the grossest thing, man.
We are the
Nasty.
worst animals on this planet.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
say that until you see an animal eat another animal, and then you go,
But they're
you know
not
what?
videoing it for
Exactly.
views. Like,
Because they're
like
not
I'm gonna
as-
get internet famous.
That's because they're not as smart.
Because they're doing it for survival, not clicks.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting, man. That's a big deal.
It's
Leaving and that's like a Hallmark movie or something.
it's kind of a wild journey, and but I was like, you know what? I'm not married. I'm not dating anybody. I don't have children. I really don't have anything holding me back except for myself and my stuff. And those are things that I
Yeah.
can. And I'm like I said, I'm very lucky to be able to land at my grandmother's house for several months, and be able to be there and have I have a steamer trunk of stuff that's like my yearbooks and pictures, which I'm obviously I have to keep, and so I'm keeping that, but everything else in a suitcase.
Again, there's that little memory thing. We just get so emotionally
Heck,
attached
yeah.
to it.
When,
I
when
have-
you think about estate sales, you always see yearbooks.
Yeah.
I lost mine.
But it's one of those where you think it's not yours. Who else would want that? And I get
Yeah.
it. They're cleaning out houses, but what do I want to do? Go
Yeah.
through somebody else's old yearbook? No.
And I have all my old planners, so I have my planners
yeah.
for the past 5 or 6 years, and I can I don't know why I would ever want to do this, but I did this the other day.
Yeah.
I looked back to see what I was doing on this day all through the years, and it was so cool just to see.
It's like, here
What
I
I
am
was
going to
doing.
see Garth Brooks today. I got a Reba
Yeah.
thing, and this year I was
Dolly.
doing,
Yeah.
I saw all that, and I'm like, that's really
It
cool.
was wild, and it just it was such a capsule of that year.
Are you going to be
Everything I
good with
did.
not being able to put that? Because you're one of those, what I do know of you is you're very meticulous with your planning. Are you going to be cool with not being able to write down hanging with Reba today?
I don't think it's really about. I'm still going to be a meticulous planner, but am I going to miss the artist aspect of it? I mean, you guys know these artists are all really nice people, but they aren't they aren't my friends. They're coworkers.
But they
you know?
take good pictures with you.
Yeah, but do I really care that much about Instagram? No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of liked your Instagram while you were over there because I was following along. I'm like, that
Right, but
looks
that's her
cool.
experience.
That's versus oh, look at me hanging out with I just don't. I don't
Oh,
like that
also the
energy.
amount of radio people who try to caption things like hanging out with my good friend. No, you're not. That was the same meet and greet picture we all took.
And the thing is, what I've learned with my friends that really are friends that are artists, you don't take those
No.
pictures.
No.
You never.
No.
you-
And-
Wait, they don't have a step and repeat in their house? Big
the
banner.
The only time, it's funny because we used to post those all the time. Now the only time, and I hate this, Big D hates it. He gives me a hard time about it, but you have to.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like usually we'll post those pictures when somebody passes away.
Oh my god.
And he hates it. He's like,
Hate
ugh.
it. Someone
here I
dies.
am.
Someone will die, and I'll be like, okay, let's just go through because everyone I know is going to be posting a picture that they took with them 14 years ago.
Yeah. And that's also a lot of that too is a lot of I mentioned that I really want to be surrounded by authentic people and not that these artists aren't great people, but we're not friends, And so, I mean, I have a few friends who are artists that I will remain friends with, but
Yeah, you have a handful that you text
Yeah,
back
that-
and
that,
forth.
I'm
or they'll-
actual friends
Or they'll
with.
say, hey, let's grab lunch or whatever.
Yeah,
But the majority,
But after
Yeah.
you hung out with Reba that day,
Yeah,
Reba went home. And
Yeah.
you went home, and they were
Yeah.
never intersecting.
Reba didn't text me happy last day. I'm so excited. So I'm just I want to make some true authentic friends in that way, and that was something that was really important to me. And I want that more. I want those true, genuine connections.
So you're just trying to get back to being real and stepping away
Yeah.
from the gram and
Yeah.
not stepping away, but you know what I mean, living your life in more of a real, true fashion
Yeah.
than for approval.
Yeah, I really wanted to I thought about it and I was like, I want to simplify. I don't need all of these things. And it felt like I don't need 20 pairs of jeans. I just don't. Like
I do because I
don't-
have one for each inch of waistband that I have.
I just
My needs.
it's like I had like almost 100 pairs of shoes. And I was like, I don't need all of these shoes. I don't need
Was
all
that
of these
hard
things.
to get rid of shoes?
You know, shoes hasn't been as hard, but purses have been awful for me to release. Like that has been my one thing
Are
because
you giving them away or are you selling
I'm
those?
trying to sell them. But the purses though, so in my mind I was like, okay, these are 6-inch stiletto heels. I'm never going to be able to wear these in Spain. Like when I do go to Spain, I won't be able to wear these.
Why?
Because
Cobblestone streets.
streets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
older infrastructure.
Yeah, when I was in
Absolutely.
Italy, I was like, I couldn't, I could barely wear heels, period, much
Wow.
less like skinny heels. So that has been my way of getting rid of shoes. But purses, on the other hand, I'm like, well, I could carry this one with a brown outfit, and I could carry this one with a black outfit, and I could carry this one with a colorful outfit. And I can't release my purses.
Is your plan whenever you get there to start accumulating stuff again, or do you want to
No.
stay? You want to
No, no,
stay
no.
nimble to where
Yeah.
you can shift it at any
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Okay.
The goal is to never again get this much stuff.
I wish all of us could do that. I mean, my house, man, I'll tell you, when I was a bachelor and I was moving around the country, I literally moved everything in the smallest U-Haul you can imagine. I didn't have a real bed. I had a futon that was on the floor, with a little tiny frame that just folded up. And it was easy.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And you could just pick up and go.
Well,
And I could never do that now. It would cost $1 billion to have somebody move me because I am not doing that. I
Yeah.
have so much stuff.
yeah, I was like, wouldn't I be so much more free if I was able to just have a suitcase and to, be able to work remotely from wherever I want to, because I got that remote job. So I'm like, if I wanted to go to Florida and work on the beach, for a month, I can Airbnb out a place and work from the beach.
Or the south of France.
Yeah, wherever I want to go,
Thailand.
I can work.
Have
remotely from
Wi-Fi,
there.
will travel.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people who are very envious of you being able to do that. I mean, really, that's pretty awesome.
it's I struggle with it because I feel like people are like, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. And obviously there are some circumstances where you can't, but like, it's not like there's not a struggle to it. Like I'm obviously struggling with letting go of all of my things, with selling my house, it's scary. It's really scary. So it's not like it's something that just like I just woke up and one morning it was done. Like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifice. But I'm hoping that all the sacrifice and getting rid of everything pays off and that I land where I'm supposed to. And I just am kind of just trusting the universe to give that to me.
Well,
Like,
do us a favor, wherever you end up, always have an extra spare bedroom so any one of us can go visit. And that way it'll save us money on hotels.
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, no.
That's the only requirement.
That's it.
no.
No, you can't say no. I mean,
No,
you need to say
no.
yes.
What has to happen is you can come and stay with me, but I'll just charge a small fee. Maybe you can bring me back some foods.
We'll bring candy from America, stuff that you won't be able to get there.
Can you
that'll
like
be
smuggle in like hot dogs? Because I'm
They don't
gonna
have
miss
hot dogs there?
Well, okay, so I will tell you that when I was in Italy, one of my favorite things that I did, this is like the most American and ridiculous thing that I did. I went to the Colosseum by myself and I had to, first of all, I had no idea that you couldn't just like go to the Coliseum. I thought you just like walked in and you just like get a ticket and just go. I mean, you like have to be in a group and it's all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so I did all this stuff, but I had to wait like 20 minutes before my group went through, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna stop over here and this little thing across from the Coliseum, just pick up some breakfast. And at this point, I had been in Italy I was getting close to a month. Like I'd been there for a while. And so I was like expecting pastries or, some type of really Italian little thing. And they had hot dogs and hamburgers. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get a hot
that
dog.
was smart because they were totally catering
yeah.
to the Americans.
They were catering to me like 100%.
Yeah.
So I sat outside the Coliseum with this hot dog, and it was like the best hot dog I've ever had. I'm sure like Italian people are like, why are you eating a hot dog in my country? This is ridiculous. But it was the best hot dog. And I was like, oh, look at the beautiful Coliseum while I'm eating my hot dog.
It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Well, again, it's going to be very sad to have the end of an era. Obviously, we'll still like each other's stuff on social media and be like, ooh, that looks great. Hey, look, I'm eating a hot dog. That's the next time I eat a hot dog, I'm going to make sure that I gram it to you and be
Please.
like, look at this.
Look, it's me eating a hot dog. And I think, like I said, you can come and stay with me in Spain if you bring me hot dogs.
You know what I'm hoping is that the grocery stores in Spain have an American section the way we have the international section in our aisles.
That's really smart. I wonder.
Somebody might.
They do.
I will say when I was in Italy, one of the things that I looked for, because while I was there, before I went to Italy, I was like, if I really love this, wouldn't it be funny if I just moved there? And I kind of jokingly
spoke it into existence.
Yeah. And then I got over there and I was like, okay, but really, I really like it here. What if I move here? And so I started looking at, in every city that I went to, I looked at the city like, okay, could I live here? Would I want to live here? Do I like the people? How expensive is it at restaurants here? What's the average cost of living here? What does a grocery store look like? Is it easy
And
to
that
get
happened
around?
pretty quick, like almost
Yeah.
within days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I went to so many different cities in Italy too that there were some that I was like, I will not live here. This is not my place. I don't belong in this city. This is not for me. But there were a few, I really loved Florence with my entire heart and soul and being. And yeah, but I looked at grocery stores and stuff like that. I would wander around grocery stores while I was on my vacation.
That's
just
smart.
what's here? What does the food look like? What are
the food prices more or less
So
comparable?
I feel like a lot of things were a lot cheaper in Italy. And I also managed to eat pasta and pizza and everything every day and lose weight.
Because you walk
you
everywhere.
You're walking so much. There was one day I did over 20,000 steps in a day.
I obviously don't walk.
I obviously didn't have a car, and the only place that I visited that had Uber was Rome. So you either pay for a taxi or you walk, and I'm a cheapskate. So
Yeah.
of course I wasn't paying
You
for
can
a taxi.
You
I
can
was
get
like,
a bicycle. You can have one
Yeah.
of those little
Vespas?
bicycle. A
Oh,
Vespa
I
would be
would
great
get a
too. I was
Vespa.
just thinking a bicycle with a basket, and you put Charles, your puppy, in there, and
Okay, I
ride
do
around with
have a
flowers,
bicycle.
and it'd be great.
at Grandma's house, I do have a bicycle, and it's turquoise, and it has little cream-colored wheels, and it has a basket on the front, and Charles sits in it. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And oh my gosh, it's so precious. So
That's
and he
your
just,
European dream.
Yes, and he just sits. He so politely sits in his little basket, and then when we drive by people who are mowing the yard or something, he'll be like. And you can see him lift his little head up, smell the grass, and I just think it's the cutest thing ever.
Do you know when Amber and I used to go walking our dogs, she would put Charles in a stroller?
What? You lie.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's funny that you're like, oh, you're going to take Charles with you. Yeah, I'm taking Charles with me. He,
And the stroller.
well, okay, the stroller's a little bit big, but I did think about it. I was like, oh, that's nice. But I am going to bring, he has this is so weird, but he basically has a bag that I put him in. It's like a crossbody kind of bag,
Yeah,
and it's
like
made.
like a carrier.
Yeah, and it's like a sling type thing, and I just set him down in it, and he puts his little paws out and just hangs out there.
Wow. Spain is going to send you back.
Yeah, you're like, not you, please, thank you.
Well, it's good to see you, and we love you, and best of luck on all this. This is really exciting.
Oh, also, if you would like to come to my house and purchase anything, you're more than welcome to.
Do you just kind of walk through and there's price tags and everything?
Well, right now there's just big totes of stuff everywhere. I'm like, this is like a $3 pile.
Do you have links
This is
online or anything like
Yeah,
that?
so
or-
if you go to Facebook Marketplace and just search my name, Amber Atnip, ATNIP, I have all of my clothes and shoes listed because I can't
What
ship
size shoe?
decor. 8.
8.
That's 8.
All right.
What's
Yes.
that in men's?
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. So, but I have it all listed, and I'm just like, please take this stuff.
Do they
because-
make giant shoes for
Yes.
guys who wear?
For
Yeah.
drag queens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't have any of
Testless
those.
these dead people.
Before you leave town, you got to go with Carson and Bubba and go out to the graveyard.
You know you want
Oh
to.
my God, I do actually. I really want to do that. In high school, we used to go ghost hunting, and we would just find abandoned houses and go and stand in and be like, oh my God, did you hear that?
The last
So
thing I
fun.
want to do is actually see a ghost. However, I want to see a ghost. I want to go out and see a ghost with the car and have the whole thing happen because that would be the best thing for the show.
Honestly, like, I would be like, I don't care if it's 3 a.m. We're going to stay out here until we see a ghost.
Oh, they're going to stay out there so long. They're going to make themselves see a ghost.
Right, yeah.
Well, no, because you can't manufacture the
Of
electromagnetic
course
field that's
you
going to
can't.
walk across
You're
the
gonna
thing.
hallucinate a ghost.
That's-
I mean, like I said, if I was in a Tesla, I'd be like, we're not leaving until I see a ghost. This might be the only time I get to be in a Tesla also.
you can follow Amber. It's at Radio Amber. At Radio Amber.
Is that gonna
Are you gonna
change?
change that? Yeah, I was
Change
gonna-
that.
I don't know. I haven't honestly thought about it. It was weird to pull out like radio out of all my bios and stuff, like because I usually have like professional talker on air and
Yeah.
that stuff. It was weird to take all that out. And I knew that radio. So when it was announced, I knew that people would start creeping on like my Instagram and stuff. So I just put like in my bio, I was like, always keep them guessing because I haven't really told anybody what I'm doing.
Oh
'cause
my gosh,
I just-
Patrick and I were at this event the other night. The
Oh,
amount of
God.
people that were asking me about Amber. So what's she doing? I'm like, that's her story to tell.
And you know,
Don't
the-
want to speak out of school.
Yeah, it's just like it has.
Nosy.
Yeah, it's nosy. It's not. They don't really care about me. I can guarantee you that at least half of the people who ask, I will not speak to again unless I come back to radio. Like those aren't people who care about me. Those aren't people that genuinely like are like, wow, I want to know, is she okay? How's she doing? Like,
Yeah.
no, they're nosy. So
You actually put professional talker on your thing. That's what it said. Okay.
I don't even know what I have on my
Professional
stuff.
talker.
I'm more of a professional stumbler.
You wouldn't say. I don't know. It just seems odd.
Radio human.
Doesn't that seem odd?
I thought it was
Professional
cute.
talker.
Like, oh, professional talker. Like,
Oh, okay. So you're kind of going for a. Okay, I got it.
I think you can get away with that.
yeah, I don't know if you can.
I don't think I
Professional
could.
talker.
Yeah.
It's a weird. I don't know.
What?
I would say speaker or.
Professional speaker.
Or
I
radio.
wouldn't,
Professional orator.
I wouldn't even say professional speaker.
I think we have radio hosts in a couple of our stuff somewhere. Some
I
things.
get that.
I think mine
Presenters
literally
of things.
says chiming in with Big D and Bubba.
Chiming in.
And we thank you for
And
it.
then song quotes.
Best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
And for those of you who are listening to the podcast, not watching on YouTube, if you're listening, we do have that Reba interview coming up right after this closing jingle.
This was the podcast, but now it's over. But that's okay,
okay.
because you can listen
That's
to
all
the
right.
regular show on the radio
When?
every day. It was the podcast.